Yeah, let's brief myself. My name is Ravi Kanth. So I am your Selenium mentor. So I'm going to be teach you core Java with the Selenium. So hope everyone are working employees or any freshers are there.
This is Priyanka. Actually, I'm a fresher. I don't have any IT experience, but I have completed my MCA long back ago.
Oh, same pinch. I am also MCA.
Okay.
Yeah. So what about is everyone freshers or any other working employees?
Hello, yeah, this is Shamla. I also I have no IT.
Okay.
This is Manibhushan. I'm a working employee.
Okay. Working as a manual tester?
Yeah, I'm working as an automation tester.
Okay, automation tester. So what tool you're using right now?
Currently we are using QTP and also we are using Selenium with C#. Mobile testing actually we are doing with Appium.
Okay, great sir, great. So what is remaining, everyone?
Hi,
okay.
I'm
Good morning. My name is Chandrika. I am BTech IT. I don't have any IT experience.
Okay.
Hi, myself Teja. I'm employee. I'm working on functional testing. I don't have idea about Selenium Java.
Okay. So hope most of the people are freshers, some are mechanical backgrounds, some are MBA, some are graduates, some are working, all mixed people are there. So why I'm asking this question? Because see, most of the people think like, am I eligible for to take this Selenium course or not? Yes, any kind of people are eligible to take this Selenium automation course. Okay, then what is the prerequisite? What is the prerequisite to take this Selenium course? Means, yes, you must be aware of some programming knowledge. Any one of the programming knowledge, you must be aware of it. What are the programming languages will Selenium supports? Means Selenium supports like Java, C#, Ruby, Python, Scala, R language, PHP, Dot, Go programming, Haskell, JavaScript, etc. So like this, many programming languages the Selenium will support to build your automation scripts. Any one of language you can use to build your automation scripts. So as this course is designed with core Java, okay, so everything is OOPS concepts is required, C# or Java, Ruby, whatever language. So one of our friend is working with C# with the Selenium. So this is designed for Java with Selenium. Any one of the language OOPS concepts is master. So Java OOPS concepts, okay, Ravi, some people says Java is very version. So Java, we have core OOPS concepts, advanced frameworks like this we have, friends. If you want to become as a developer or tester, the first basic thing you must aware of the OOPS concepts, any one of the language. Any one of language, core OOPS concepts is must. If you want to become as developer means, then we must work on frameworks and advanced Java or advanced C# like this. We have to learn all those things. So what are the basic core Java OOPS concepts to be covered in this Java means? First we'll talk about project creation, package creation, what is a Java class, interfaces, abstract classes, variable types, data types and values, and we talk about Java inheritance, typecastings, wrapper classes, access non-access methods, method overloading, method overriding, method varying rules, polymorphism, constructors, method signatures, debugging, Java strings, file systems, exception handling, user-defined arrays, single-dimension array, two-dimension array, Java collections. These are the core Java OOPS concepts will be covered part of this Java. Okay, because once you technically sounds good, then only you can build your automation scripts. I'm not saying, friends, the document it says the official website for Selenium was selenium.dev is the official website. Here we can see Selenium automates browsers. That's it, which means my Selenium automation tool will automate the web applications. Web applications means the applications open through browser is called web application. So Selenium automates browsers. That's it. What you do with that power is entirely up to you. What is that power? You must be technically sounds good. Even to become as a tester or to become as a developer, core Java is a must. It's a basic point to start with the automation or to start with the development. So that technically you must be sounds good. So what you do with that power is entirely up to you. Is how much technically you sounds good, then you can build your Selenium automation scripts. That's why we must be aware of any one of the language, because Selenium supports these many languages. Any one language use, we can build your Selenium automation scripts. So friends, here most of the people will struggle without knowing the concepts, how to do, when to do, where to do. Without knowing the concepts, most people are struggling, friends. That each and every concept, whatever I discussed right now, every concept I'll give very clear picture. Every idea I'll give that. And after that, once you know the concepts, how to build your programs, then you start the programs. The next struggle starts runtime issues. So generally we do errors, we do wrong mistakes. So writing a program not following some syntax rules and we build some wrong programs, definitely in a runtime it may cause for failure. So where you looking here and there for support, who will help you, right? Don't worry. So you must be a trust on debugging, where debugger is to debug the scripts step by step execution flow. You will come to know what is the flow was happening, where exactly the issue occurred. We can trace out while debugging, friends. So know the concepts and know the debugging, how to trace out the issue, then your job becomes more easy. Now in between this, we have to do some practices. After knowing the concepts, you must do some practices. I will give some assignment programs for practicing the programs. Okay, I'll give some assignments to practice the programs. So like suppose if I talk about strings, in string related some string manipulation programs are there, I'll give them. If I talk about looping decision making statements, I'll give some pattern programs. That diamond shape, rectangle shape, numbers like this, some pattern programs I'll give for practice. If I talk about collections also I'll give some assignment practices. So you will know the concepts, how to do, where to do, when to do. It will be technically sounds good while doing the programs. Friends, we're getting some disturbance. Saurav, can you please be in a mute, please? Saurav. Yeah. So technically it'll be sounds good while doing some practices, and you will be in a position to troubleshoot the issue when you write any program. So where there is a fumble here, nothing is there. So if you follow the standards, if you follow the rules to build, to learning while learning and practicing and implementing and troubleshooting, if you follow the process, definitely you'll be in a top level. So everything core Java OOPS concepts we will learn perfectly, and then after we'll start the Selenium. That's what I will take. I will make a treatment treating everyone as a fresher only. Okay, I'll treat everyone as a fresher. Don't worry, experience and fresher, each and every concept I will cover in Java. Okay, after completion of Java, then we'll move to the Selenium. Yeah, in Selenium, we have various components are there. Selenium is an automation tool to automate your web applications. So to work with Selenium, we have various components are there in Selenium. The official website for Selenium was selenium.dev. So if you come down here, these are the various components in Selenium. Selenium WebDriver, Selenium IDE, and Selenium Grid. The first component in Selenium was Selenium IDE. Friends, one more component also there, that is Selenium RC remote controller, that got deprecated. Only these three components are available. See, only these three components are available: IDE, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. The first component is IDE. So if you want to work with Selenium IDE, not required any programming knowledge. So we have discussed about some programming languages should know. When you're working with Selenium IDE, not required any of these languages. Just it's a record and playback tool. Selenium IDE is just a record and playback tool. We record. Suppose we have some scenarios, some test cases we have, some sequence of flow for every test case have. That you start recording in Selenium IDE and work on the flow. Every flow is going to be recorded in the backend as a HTML using IDE. Okay, now? So then after you stop the recording and playback, record and playback, record and playback. Whatever you do transactions when you start recording, everything as a statements in HTML in backend, it's going to be stored. Then you stop and playback, record and playback, record and playback. Not require any programming knowledge. So here we're using Selenium IDE. Some drawbacks are there. So where majorly we use this IDE means if you want to create a quick bug reproduction scripts, okay, then you have to go with the Selenium IDE to make understand betterly. Friends, you know, whenever you're working with any project, so when you want to get any new project from the client, what will you do? First of all, you will have a mock testing in front of the client. So we are going to be organized like this, like this, like this. We are going to be automated like this. Quick bug reproduction scripts will be generating in front of the client. According to his requirement, we will explain them. And instantly with some scripts and show the instant results in front of the client. In that case, we use the IDE for mock testings, for pilot projects testings. We use IDE. Okay, now in real time we never use IDE, friends, because IDE having some disadvantages in implementing, because we can record in one browser, Chrome, may or may not, some cases will not work in Firefox or in IE. Recorded the scripts in for one browser in IDE may or may not work in some cases for other browsers. That's one disadvantage we noticed in IDE. And one more is using IDE, we cannot record all the elements. Using IDE, we cannot record all the elements. Some elements may not be recorded. So considering all these points, IDE is only just for use to create a quick bug reproduction scripts for pilot projects, for mock test. For that purpose, we use IDE. So the next, we use Selenium WebDriver. We're using Selenium WebDriver. So in working with WebDriver, you must be aware of one of these languages, whatever I shown earlier. By using any one of the language, we are going to be build your Selenium WebDriver scripts. So what if you want to create robust browser-based regression automation suites and tests? Friends, here in IDE, we will record in one browser, may or may not work in other browsers. I said that was overcome here. Yes or no? Want to create robust browser-based regression automation suites and tests. One time you're putting investment developing the scripts, that scripts will tune in all the browsers. Here, create robust browser-based regression automation suites and tests will be developed in WebDriver using any one of the language. Okay, now once you develop the browser-based regression automation suites and tests, We want to execute them parallelly in many browsers. Yes or no? To save the time. How can we make it parallelly? Means with using the Selenium grid component. What it does, if you want to scale by distributing and running tests on several missions and manage multiple environments from a central point, making it easy to run the test against a vast combination of browsers, operating system, then you want to use a Selenium grid. As simple to say that developed WebDriver robust scripts, if you want to execute parallelly in many operating systems and many browsers, then we take a help of Selenium grid. Understood? What is the appropriate combination for Selenium is Selenium WebDriver with the understood? Selenium WebDriver with the grid is a combination. Okay, now? WebDriver with grid. This is the combination for working with Selenium. Create robust browser execution automation suites and test. Grid will scale and distribute, executing parallelly in many operating system and browsers. The support of the grid only. Okay, na? Yeah. While working with Selenium WebDriver, by using any one of the language binding, we are developing Selenium automation scripts. So we are using code. After that, we come to the Selenium. So in Selenium, what are the WebDriver concepts will be covered? Let me show as a glance. So friends, here first we'll talk about Java concepts, core Java ops concepts. Then after we will come to launching the various browsers, and also I'll make these browser launching programs as a dynamically, because launching a browsers is common functionality for every project. How can we organize these scripts dynamically launching various browsers? We'll see them. And next we come for options class and profile concepts. Friends, here we are doing automation. Everything should handle through automation. No manual intervention will be there. So friends, once you're working with a browser, web application, some Chrome browser you're working, you are interacting Chrome browser to execute some test case. Some source stoppers will come like browser notifications, proxy settings, certificate errors, information bars, etc. Something will interrupt our executions. Who is responsible to handle them? Who is responsible to handle them? Automation tester, yes or no? Also, automation tester is responsible to handle everything. When we conduct testing manually means your intervention will be there. Step to step, your intervention will be there. If any source stoppers comes, you will be in a position to handle them. But in automation, your presence will not be there. You will instruct in one step and you make a run, a dry run in a late night or wherever your presence will not be there. Any source stopper comes, your presence will not be there, then stops the execution. In that case, what we do to handle such notifications or information bars or proxy settings. So first of all, we have to take the browser into our control. To take browser into our control, we must create a browser profiles. Chrome user-defined profiles, Firefox user-defined profiles like this. You will get user-defined profiles for the browsers. Once you take charge browser into our control, then we can handle whatever it is using the options class. Chrome options, Firefox options, Internet Explorer options like this. We have every browser we have options class. With that, I can disable information bars. We can maximize it, disable notifications, page load strategy, managing certificate errors, proxy settings. Everything can get handled. Understood? With using profiles, we'll take a browser charge into our control. Then after we will using options class and doing necessary settings on your user-defined browser profiles. And next is the synchronizations. Friends, here your application is very slow in loading the elements, and your developed automation scripts are very fast in executions, where there is some synchronization issue occurs between these two. So how can we sync between these two not to fail the scripts? You have to make your script to wait for a while until the element loads in the application. How can we make sync between these two? Means we'll use some synchronization methods which are provided by Selenium, which is implicit wait, explicit wait, and Java synchronization method as a thread.sleep. By using these synchronization methods, we will sync between the script and application not to fail. Okay now? So, and next we come for locators. Friends, we are automating. How can we interact the web elements? In your application, we can find number of web elements. Here, where text box is one web element, drop down is one web element, button is one web element, and link is one web element, image is one web element. Like this, we can write a button, check boxes, static text, labels. We will see number of web elements in our application. How can I identify that elements to perform before performing action on that particular web element? How can I identify that element? Means, friends, here. So, friends, suppose if I want to give some assignment for any one of the person, how can I give the assignment for that person? First of all, how I need to identify that person. How can I identify the person? First of all, tell me. Before giving assignment for him, first of all, I need to identify that person. How do I identify that person? How do I identify that person? First of all,
The name of that person.
yes, name is one of the property for the person. Of course, not only name. For the person, we have so many properties are there. Starting baby coming from mother womb, the first property is very handsome, colorish, height, weight, complex. Like this we talk. After that, we 9 days we put like namakarana, first name, last name, surname, nickname, pet name, all this comes. From childhood, we will have an Aadhaar card number. Aadhaar card will be applying. Aadhaar card number will come. If child is 18 years old, we'll have a voter card. If he's staying in US, means SSN number. If working as employee, means employee ID. All these are properties for human being. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, based on need, we will use that respective property. Suppose you are contesting an elections. What is the identity property there? We use to identify the person.
Voter ID.
Voter ID. If you are working as an employee,
symbol.
your salary should be calculated. What is the identity there to calculate your salary in the organization?
Person's position.
Employee ID, not a position, right? Salaries are calculated based on the what is the identity there? Employee head, based on employee ID will get referred. Suppose you are being in office, two persons want to communicate. What is the identity property there?
Emails with the email.
Name is the
Email.
property, right? Okay, if you are purchasing any electronic goods in one of the electronic showroom, what is the identity you give there? What is the Aadhaar card? Yes or no? So based on need, that identity property we are making use. Yes or no? Of course, we have so many based on need. So I can't go to the person, hey, employee ID 301. I never call like that. I will call by name, Ravi or Sunil or Kiran, like this. So based on need, that identity property we are making use to interact that element to perform some action on it. Yes or no? So now we are talking about locators. Locators, like how the human being has so many properties. Similar way, every web element, text box, radio button, checkbox, button, button, drop down, images, links. Every web element have some set of properties defined by the developers. Second. Excuse me. Here we can see some link is there. Can you see the properties of this element link? No, right? This is the text box. Can you see the properties of this text box? No, right?
No.
Even if you be in front of any person, can you find his properties? No, right? You don't know his name, you don't know his surname, you don't know his Aadhaar card number. How you get their properties? While spying them, asking, hey, what is your name? Like this. Like same way, we are spying the properties for each and every web element. Suppose I want to spy this text box property. What I do? Right click on the text box, inspect. Yes, spying. Here we can see. These are all the properties defined by the developers for the text box. See, every web element will start with a HTML tag and followed by its properties. Type text, ID value, name value, autocomplete value, placeholder. Like this, these are all the properties defined by the developers. Like how we have first name, last name, surname, Aadhaar card, SL number, voter card, employee ID, height, weight, color, complexity. How we have a properties. Likewise, for each and web element have some set of properties defined by the developers. With them, they are going to interact these elements and perform the actions in automation. Understanding? So we have 8 locators, majorly 8 locators we concentrate to interact the web elements. One is the ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS select, link text, partial in text, and tag name. These are the main locators we use to interact the web elements. Okay, now basic understanding of see, most of the people will struggle to identify the elements. So I'll make you hands-free first 3 days. How we can work with the locators. First 3 days we'll talk about basic understanding of locators. Last 3 days we'll talk about 1 day is for XPath, writing a customized XPath, static XPath, dynamic XPath. One fine day we'll talk about XPath, and one more fine day we'll talk about CSS selectors. And last day we'll see some examples while working on locators. Like 6 hours will be occupied for locators only. So if you're not properly interacting the elements with the specific locators, we can't. Your time is getting killed there only. Yes or no? So major part, most of the people, what I noticed, identifying the elements, writing XPath, dynamic XPath, dynamic CSS selectors, there the people are mostly struggling. So 6 hours I was spending on the locators only to make you hands-free. Next is a Maven project. Friends, here, any project you are developing should use some build tools. We should use some build tools. We have so many build tools out there, and Maven, Gradle, like these are so many build tools are available in the market, where Ant build tool got deprecated. Available build tool in the market is Maven and Gradle. Majority of the companies are using Maven as a build tool only. So every project we build here, every dependency we build here, every configuration we do, every plugins, every configurations we do in the Maven only. We can execute our builds also through Maven build tool only. All these things we'll talk about Maven. And coming to the TestNG. TestNG is a Java defined framework. TestNG is a Java defined framework. Friends, once you are doing automation, we must use some structured framework to build your automation scripts. Selenium itself don't have any built-in frameworks. Selenium itself don't have any built-in frameworks. Let me prove that. See, friends, the official website for Selenium was selenium.dev. I want to prove you there is no built-in framework for the Selenium. So here I am going to the downloads link. Here I am going to the downloads link. If you come little bit down, here Selenium client and WebDriver language bindings. Under this heading, I am clicking on other languages exist. See here. Selenium can be extended in different ways. Here are number of drivers. Drivers means browser drivers. Bindings, language bindings like Java, C#, Ruby, and some plugins and frameworks which are created and maintained by the third parties. Understood now? Selenium don't have any built-in drivers and bindings and plugins and frameworks. All are developed by, maintained by the third parties. Understanding? Third parties are developing all these things. Okay. So if you want to build any test case, we must have some structured framework. So we are using TestNG Java defined framework. While using this TestNG framework, we are building our test cases. In TestNG, majorly we'll talk about annotations, before annotations, after annotations, data provider annotations, okay, listeners, okay, test annotations. Like this, we use so many annotations. This. So we will work on priorities also while working with annotations. We will set a test dependencies. We will group the test cases. We will skip the test cases. We can set the priorities. We can do the parameterization in the TestNG. Okay. We will use the data providers to get the data into the scripts, and we can report it. We can report here using the listener classes like pass, fail, skip. This we can use TestNG listeners. Okay. We can generate a TestNG reports also. We will work with the assertion classes, soft assert, hard assertions like this. We'll work with the listener classes, read-write listener classes. If any test case fails, how can we make rerun the failed test cases again and again, twice or thrice? All these concepts to be covered in this TestNG framework for 8 to 9 hours. And lastly, we do one mini pilot project on TestNG also. Okay, na? Getting it? And next, come to the page object model. So friends, page object model here itself meaning says we are working in respect to the pages. So you know that web application contains group of pages. Group of pages together we call as one application. How effectively you organize the pages is nothing but it's called page object model. Suppose in an application we have 10 pages. One page is login page, another is registration page, one is add to cart page, one is women's page, one is kids page, one is men's page. Like this group of pages together we call as one website. Each page contains some web elements and operations that you organize in separate Java classes rather than maintaining everything in one single Java class. Divide and rule policy is always best approach. How well you organize the information, page level information to respect to Java class is known by page object model. We'll talk about this. Yeah. Next is automating links. Friends, majority of the elements in the application is the links only. So how can we interact a single link? How can we interact a group of links in an entire page? How can you interact a group of links under header portion page? How to work with the hidden links, broken links, all these concepts one fine day we'll talk about automating links and automating drop downs. Drop down means we are used to select the options, a single option or multi option. How can we select the options in various ways using send keys, using select class? How can we select options in a drop down? We'll see one fine day. And next is pop-ups. Friends, once you're working with your scripts, so many pop-ups will appear to stop your execution, like JavaScript pop-ups, HTML pop-ups, security pop-ups, any kind of pop-ups comes, we must be in a position to handle them. Okay, that how can we handle various types of pop-ups? I will discuss here. Next is the actions class. Next is the actions class. Friends, while working with Selenium WebDriver, some of the advanced elements directly cannot be interacted with the WebDriver, Then we'll take off support of the actions class, like mouse overing elements. Mouse overing means some of the elements, suppose redburst.in. See here, if I mouse over, one second. Okay. See, I am mouse overing. When I was mouse overing, only elements are getting populated. Observe here. I'm not clicking, just I am mouse overing. These are called mouse overing elements. Understanding? Okay. Mouse overing elements, right clicking, double clicking, chain actions, dragging and dropping, automating slide bars, like this kind of advanced elements directly with the WebDriver cannot be interacted. Then we'll take a support of the actions class. How to work with the action classes with advanced elements, we will discuss. And JavaScript executors. With the WebDriver, how you interact the web elements and performing actions. Then JavaScript executors also, we can interact the web elements to perform the actions. And next come to the automating Windows components. Friends, will my Selenium automates window application elements web? Selenium automates web applications elements or window elements?
Web application.
Web application elements only. When you are automating your web application elements, suddenly if any Windows elements occurs, so my Selenium will do hands up. In that case, we can handle them, even though we can handle them with using some free window automation tools. Okay, now like Auto IT, Sukuli, robotics, like this free window automation tools are there. With those, we can handle that window elements as well. So here I am talking about Auto IT. We will be downloading and installing Auto IT, and we will be building our Auto IT scripts. We will be compiling that Auto IT scripts, and we are associating that Auto IT scripts in your Selenium WebDriver scripts. How can we do all the one fine day? We'll talk about working with Auto IT. Friends, we're getting some disturbance. Can you please be on mute? Don't mind, please. Apeksha, can you please be on mute? Yeah, thank you. Friends, now automating the web tables. Friends, web tables, tables consist rows and columns. In that row and particular column, we have a cell. Inside the cell, we can have any one of the web element like link, text box, button, drop down, reader button, checkbox. Any of the element can place inside the web table cell. If I want to interact that elements inside a web table, how can we? Some tables are static web tables. Some tables are dynamic web tables. Some tables are paginations. Like different tables, how can we work to interact that elements? Okay, now so date pickers. So date picker means here. Suppose I open this. Is that redburst.in date pickers? I want to select a data. This is a date picker. This is called date picker. I want to select particular date. So I must traverse on each and every cell in that row, and I reach to my required date, and I need to select that date to book a ticket. Yes or no? How can we select a date in a date picker? It's a web table, right? Yes. And web table pagination. One second. We have that One second, let me open that link to show you that how the web table pagination is look like. I'll show that, just a minute. Switches. Load. Okay, not this. Sample 2, yeah. Here we can see that. See, friend, this is the table, right? Web table pages means here we have a pages. So in this table, we can accommodate only 10 rows of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then it has some pages. Either you can click on second page or next. It moves towards second page. In the second page, some data is there. Next, third page. Like web table paginations. Suppose I want to get some information which is in some fifth page. So I must traverse from first page, second page, third page, fourth page, fifth page. Then only I can get my required element. How can we work with the web table paginations? Understanding? And date pickers, static web tables, dynamic web tables, introduction of tables, all these concepts to be covered under web tables. And next is what property files, XML files, and log4j and Access. Friends, here we are developing our test cases. For the test cases, we require some test data. Where we organize them, various data sources are there. Properties files, XML files, Microsoft Excels. All these are the various data sources where we can organize our test data and give it to the scripter. 10 hours we'll be working on this various data sources only to make understanding. And next is that grid. Friends, once you build your Selenium automation scripts using these concepts, then we are supposed to scale and distribute, promoting to execute the developed WebDriver scripts parallelly in many operating systems and in many browsers, the support of grid only. Okay, now to scale and distribute and executing parallelly in many operating system and browser with the support of grid only. If you want to work with the grid, we must create some setup for the grid, like hub and nodes. Hub is a kind of server, nodes is a kind of clients. There we use some design capabilities, remote WebDriver classes, and we will execute them parallelly in many systems. These are to be covered in this Selenium, friends, WebDriver with the grid. And next we talk about DevOps. So friends, DevOps is a culture which consists so many components, okay, like a Maven, Gradle, and GitHub servers, Git buckets, SVN, VSS, Dockers, Kubernetes, Chef, Puppet, Ansible, Dockers, Kubernetes, etc., etc. So many components together we call as a DevOps as a culture, where DevOps will be used for developers, used by the testers, used by the development team, deployment team, and integration team. Almost every sectors use this DevOps culture. As testers, we are also using this DevOps of using components like Maven, build tool, and GitHub servers, Jenkins. For any project you build, use some build tool called Maven build. And after you developing the scripts, that should be accommodated in some server end, because working for one project will not be in the same location. Different location people will work on same project. So every code should be collaborated across the team members. So we use some of the distributed server called GitHub server. Every work is accountable and collaborated across the team members with the support of the GitHub server only. And after that, developed scripts you must execute automatically. So through Jenkins pipeline, CDCI pipeline, we are going to be schedule your builds, pulling the source code from GitHub server into Jenkins. Then we are scheduling the executions through Jenkins here, friends. So how you want to schedule hourly, weekly, monthly? Soon after code is committed in the GitHub server, when you want to schedule your builds executions through Jenkins, automatically we can schedule. And lastly, we can send a mail to respect to recipients that completion of your executions. And all end-to-end process this DevOps will does. It's simple to understand. Suppose you want to construct one brand new BMW car. So do you believe all parts are belong to the BMW? All components to build the BMW car are belong to the BMW only or some other companies? What, friends? If you want to construct BMW car,
Other company.
No.
other companies.
Yes.
Yes. So tires are belong to MRF. Like nuts and bolts are by some other companies, and bucket seats are belong to some other. So supply chain, right? Supply chain. So different people will have the parts, the components all together. BMW purchases, and in his workshop, he used to assemble every component to make a brand new BMW car. DevOps also does the same thing. DevOps is one culture where we used to build, we collaborate, and we schedule executions using the DevOps, which process the automation. Okay, now, and next we work on frameworks like TestNG, Edge Object, even Fabric, Cucumber, like this. And lastly, we do the one small project. And what are the benefits you get of this training? You will be getting the soft copy material, friends. For Java and Selenium. And you'll be getting the recorded videos for 1 year you access, and you'll get the source code through GitHub server. Daily, whatever the programs I build for Java Selenium project, every source code I will commit and push into the GitHub server. As well, you can pull from your end of my committed code through GitHub server. So soft copy material for Java and Selenium will share through mail. Recorded videos for 1 year view access, and source code will be shared through GitHub server. And sessions will be daily Monday to Friday sessions, 1 hour daily. Okay, and duration will be 2.5 months. So to complete core Java, Selenium, DevOps components, frameworks, and project, everything to complete, it takes 2 to 2.5 months to complete, friends. 2 to 2.5 months. So doubts are always encouraged in asking the sessions. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask in the session, friends. And I'll use some assignments on Java, and I'll use some scenarios on Selenium as well. My sessions will be help you to get into the job, like 6 to 8 years of experience. My trainings are trustworthy. So that's it for today's demo session. If you have any queries, you can.
Sir, my name is Angel. Like I
Yeah.
would like to join. How can I make the payment and what are the next steps that
So
needs to
you
be
will
done,
get
sir?
the link from the management for payment details. So
Okay,
you can
sir.
do that. Okay.
Okay,
Get the
fine.
link.
So
Okay.
when are the classes going to start?
Tomorrow onwards is going to be start, madam.
Okay, from tomorrow onwards, regular
You can join for
classes will start.
you can join, yes, you can join for 1-2 classes. Then only you can pay that. Not an issue for that. Not immediate to pay.
Okay.
1-2 classes you can go ahead and you can do the payment later after 2 days. Okay.
Okay. But from tomorrow, the regular classes will start, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
You can pay. Not an issue. Okay.
So
Sir,
is
I
the
have one question.
Selenium? Okay, go ahead.
Sir, yeah, thank you. Sir, you were telling like there are so many Java concepts, right? Java basics and all. And end of the course, will we have an understanding like where to apply all those concepts into Selenium?
Yes. Yes. So what are the concepts I said, like each and every concept will be using in our Selenium. That's why specifically I given the points. What are the concepts we are concentrating on Java? Each and every concept will use in our Selenium.
Okay,
No doubt.
thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
By the end of this course, you will be helping how to build our resume.
Yeah, I will send you the sample resumes with all the stuffs. What are the current trend concepts are there? Everything I'll keep there. Wherever you are expert in that, keep that points. If any, you can remove. Then I can share that.
Okay.
All the stuff I can do that. What all the areas you are eligible, you are comfort. You keep that points and when you can remove.
And you told that you will be giving one project, no, sir?
Yes, yes. One small
that will be helpful for us.
Yeah, it will make to understand how if any if you're in the client, if any project got from the scratch, how you can organize your framework, how can we build the test cases, how can we execute, how to send everything end to end will shown here in this project. This project only will be like 12 hours will be working on the 10 to 12 hours will be working on the project. 10 to 12 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, during this course, we can learn DevOps also?
Yes, we require, sir. See, in every project we build in Marvin build tools only. So we will keep our developed projects in distributed servers, GitHub server only. We will schedule your executions automatically using the Jenkins only, and sending reports everything to Jenkins only. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Once you
Okay.
initially you invest one-time effort in building the test cases, and DevOps will schedule everything, pulling the code from Jenkins automatically.
Okay, okay. Sir, any project explanation at the end of the program? At the end of the course?
Project we are doing, right? We are doing one project.
Yeah, okay.
We are doing one project, 10 to 12 hours. We are working on one project here.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Hi Ravi, I am working as a ETL tester. Is it useful for me for Java with automation, that one? Or
yes, sir.
Before that I am writing Python with Selenium. Is it useful for me? I don't know Java with Selenium also.
See, even Java or Python or C#, everything is OOPS concept. Syntax will be valid. That's it. If one is your learning means other you can easily learn just by varying the syntax. That's it.
Okay. Right now, so many calls like it is available or not for Java with Selenium for requirement purpose.
Okay, I will say one thing. So 2 years back, people used to talk like, hey, Selenium Python is having a good market. How honesty was there. So still Java, every project now it is in the project Java only. Now Python was started. So, but still Java with the Selenium only is going boom in the market, sir. Of course, Python, Selenium also is there, but majority of the jobs with the Java with Selenium only is going on, sir. C#, some are C#, some are Python. Very huge going on testing for Selenium with Java only. Next place is the Python with Selenium. Next is C#.
Yeah, because once we are completed the course, we are not did the class. That same we lost the right.
No, you'll get that. But see, the Java or C# or Python, whatever the languages, these are the trending languages which going on and developing or testing. So just the syntax will be vary language to language. That's it. All are loops concepts. Here we have for loops. Here we have for loops. C#. Here also we have for loops. Yes or no? Understanding? Syntax will be vary. Syntax will be vary language to language. All are loops concepts. Okay. See, once you learn, just you can refer some sites for syntaxes for that. That's it.
Okay. Okay, we are interested to join the course. Join the trial. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See, in Java, suppose you are working with for loops. No indentation is required to maintain.
Android or mobile.
Python, we must maintain some indentations. Indentations we must maintain. Like this, some syntaxes are there. And for loop syntax is different here. For loop syntax is different here. Like this, we have some.
No, I was not asking about Python. Means this Selenium is only for web application development, or else for Android or mobile applications also we can use this Selenium.
If we want to work with Android, means that's an Appium comes. If we want to work with mobile test, Appium is one of the tool we call, like how we call Selenium.
Okay.
Like Appium is there. So to work with Appium, again the base is the Java only, Selenium Java. See, using Selenium WebDriver, we test the functional automation. The testing. See, earlier you QA, right? We do here. You say like QA. I am a QA engineer. What means you are doing manual testing, functional manual. You're doing. Now the same thing we are doing as it using Selenium tool. What QA is doing manually, the same thing we are doing automation through using Selenium with the Java, Selenium, C#, Selenium, Python, any of the things. Functional testing only. So this is a functional web. Web means browser. The applications open through browser, that's called web. Functional testing. Okay, now you're saying the mobile testing. Nowadays, the same application will be used through mobile also. Yes or no? The same application can operate through mobile also. Yes or no?
Yes.
Suppose you want to book a movie tickets. You tell me, you prefer to book through mobile or through desktop nowadays?
Through mobile itself.
Of course, which means, of course, it was there in the desktop also in the mobile also. So we have to test it in mobile as well in this desktop as well, browser, system desktop. Okay. Functional testing should be happen on desktop browser as well in the mobile. So using Selenium WebDriver, we used to test the functional testing on browsers, on desktop browsers. Using Appium tool, we test in mobiles, iOS, Androids, using Appium tool. So for these two things, the Java, any of the languages must.
Yes.
Same functionality we're testing in mobile using the Appium tool. Not only this, if you want to test the services, web services testing is there. Web services, API. Have you heard about this? SOAP UI, RESTful API. These are the services, web services testing. When you're conducting manually means SOAP UI testing we do for web services. When you're doing through automation means RESTful API tool we use in web services. Like how we call QA and Selenium in terminology, here web services testing, SOAP UI and RESTful API is there. Okay, na? So if you want to test database testing, that is different. Web services testing, manual testing, functional automation, mobile testing, Appium, performance testing using some tools, performance tools. These are all separate. Okay, to learn functional automation, 2 to 2.5 months. If you want to learn performance testing, 2 months. Web services testing, 45 to 60 days. Mobile testing is 30 to 45 days. Database testing also 30 to 45 days. Everything is separate. If you want to learn database testing, you must know the SQL queries. So what I suggest you after completion of this Selenium functional automation testing, I suggest you value advantage for your resume. Take another course also like mobile testing with Appium or web services testing with RESTful API. Any one of is required if you want to make your resume value add-in. But everything, the base is the Selenium functional testing. Understood?
Yes, got you.
Yeah, sir.
Once you complete the Selenium course, to make your resume, because the earlier days people used to do testing different sectors. People saw there. For performance separate team is there, mobile testing separate is there, like this is there. But nowadays not like that. Everyone is a single man show, has to be handled. So along with this functional automation testing is using Selenium. You make value advantage either with web services, RESTful API, or mobile testing is using Appium. Anyone you make value advantage after completion of this course. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sir. Apeksha this side. I am having 3 years of experience in Java development. So now I'm interested in automation testing. So will it be, can I mention the project whichever you are giving you in the end of this course? So can we mention in that our resume?
No. This project is for to build, to make you understand how any project comes, how can we from the scratch, how can we build, how can we manage the folder structures, how can we execute, how can we report it, how can we schedule it, how all those things we'll talk in this project. This can't be put in your resume.
Okay, yeah. Got it.
If you want the projects, you contact any other consultancies who sponsor the projects. So many consultants are there. They will give the KT also on the project. So if you so many institutes are there. There I can provide the projects. They will give the explanation also what is the functionality happens. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it, friends? Yeah. Okay, friends. Hope I was clear all the doubts. So we are good to stop for today. If you don't have any queries, so tomorrow we'll meet the same time, same link. Continuation of this Selenium course. So starting with Java classes, tomorrow I'll show you how to install the Java and Eclipse and how can we create a project, brand new project. We'll see in tomorrow's session. And after tomorrow we'll talk about what is a class and what class contains, how can we access class planned properties, behaviors, and what is the interface. All these things to be covered the day after tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.